Previous video we looked at Samsung A10 that had a problem of a black screen, and that's what we are trying to review today, to highlight to you the things you need to know when going about such a problem. So let me begin by two things. I'll begin with history taking. However, the facts will precede that. In other words, the knowledge in the background that will help you understand the history. However, in history taking, basically you were asking for what happened prior and around the time the screen stopped working or went blank. And in that scenario, I was told that that screen, actually the phone had fallen and the screen went blank. The other part of the history is that the phone had been repaired before, which already had something going on in the background, and that would help to inform my decision uh, in repairing this device. Anyway, now when doing a screen replacement, there's some facts that you have to have going in your head. In other words, in the background you should know certain things. So one is what we will have to understand the types of screens that we have in the mobile device market, and then that is to say we have the LCD type and then we have the OLED type, and I think I might have covered this in one of my previous videos. Now when you look at the OLED is normally divided into two: the AMOLED and the passive OLED. Now you'll find that this is typical to iPhones, whereas this is typical to the Samsungs, and all of these manifest similar symptoms on failing. I mean, the OLED manifest the same symptoms on failing, in that they simply tend to just go black without any detail being seen. Or at times you may be lucky and see a greenish display which doesn't bring any sort of image, or if it does, images are really pale. Now, to understand the LCD, usually these, when they fall, one, they will crack and you will see parts that are light and then parts that are dark. That is where the liquid crystals have converged in from the pits. Now, having known this background, and in combination with the fact of what happened, that it had fallen and then had been repaired before, but then also the idea is you need to know the screen that your model is using, in which case it was model, in which case this was a Samsung A10s. So it helps searching the internet and figuring out what the phone model is, and therefore what the screen type was, and it turned out it was LCD. Now, it is not typical for LCDs to go black after falling. In most cases it will crack and just show light, so which sent me to the suspicion that the screen may have been disconnected, and that's the only way it can go black. That's the only way this LCD can go black, if its connector is disconnected from the circuit and therefore no information is being sent to the screen. Now, that is the background knowledge that should be running in your head when you're looking into some of those issues like black screen problem. Now, having known that, therefore the next stage was now to equip ourselves for the repair process. Now, in the repair process, I encourage you to always watch videos on how to open the device, because this problem required us to go inside the phone. So opening the video device is at times actually called tear downs. So if you've ever heard of this word, that's like tearing it down. So you can search along those words: opening Samsung A10, opening Samsung Galaxy A10s, tear down of the Samsung Galaxy A10s. Any of those permutations will give you a search results. Of course, be careful to state your phone model. Now, while opening, definitely you will also need to take care. So that's why you have to watch other videos to know where the critical items to avoid damaging are. For instance, fibers, ribbons and screws, perforating speakers, anything of that kind. Now, in the repair process, of course, with knowledge of the history, you will definitely know how to go about it. Now, that device, when we opened it, we noticed that the fiber or the connector of that leads to the display touch assembly was loose. In other words, it was out of the circuit. It was out of the circuit. It wasn't plugged in. So that actually gave us a clue that when these guys had worked on it before, there is a plate that's supposed to keep the fiber or the connector of the fiber locked into the circuit, and that part was not put back. It's usually a plate which is held down by screws, and that normally allows to keep the fibers connector plugged into the socket. So in our case, all we needed to do was to replug the connector. So we just decided to plug it back into the socket, and upon restarting, the phone was able to work. So that is the thought process that was going on in that video. However, I always encourage, as one of the last recommendation is, if you're running this as a business, always be kind to give the client the option of giving you feedback. Feedback is paramount, because it kind of helps you know whether you're doing the right thing or you are actually not doing the right thing, and that will always help you manage repairs in which you probably had sort of an oversight, or perhaps you could actually refine. It helps you gauge the quality of your work, and also to retain clients, because clients need to be listened to. Anyway, if you've come this far, we are on a journey to 1,000 subscribers, and it's our request that you hit the subscribe button and let us reach there sooner than later. And please do always feel free to watch our videos till the end. We'll be very delighted and grateful that you have done that. We remain Opioz Laboratory. We are dedicated to teaching you some repairs, and also help you push the repairs into a form of business. And we say that on this channel we are going to structure it in about 4 ways, and those 4 ways is to, 1, bring you a repair, and that's just taking you through a process of repairing a device, then review it, literally highlight what we did in that previous repair, and then 3, we shall come teach you the physics of repairs, and we figured maybe would bring you also testimonies. And anyway, the aim is that this is a platform that will allow you learn as much as you can for repairs and the physics thereof. Thank you. See you in the next video. Ciao.